Welcome to my channel. Hi guys, we have this special requested look. It's like a yellow bumblebee kind of look. Yellow is my favorite color, and it's just like a go-to color for me. I am finally using the Honey ColourPop palette. I love it a lot. And I'm also using my Soft Glam palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love ColourPop. It's very affordable and their shadows are like extremely good. I only had to add the Soft Glam palette because I wanted to like darken up around here, but for these yellows and they're pigmented, this is a vibe. So this look was specially requested. I had wore it to work one day and my boss at work, she was like, you need to post this, like this look is a vibe. And I'm like, okay. So it's very simple. This is not gonna be a talk through. I'm gonna voice over the rest of the video, but I hope that you guys are starting to enjoy that I'm posting more, and I am gonna start posting weekly. And that's gonna be a new challenge for me, but I am gonna try and stick to it. I'm not gonna be like these other YouTubers where they be like, I'm gonna post, because I was doing that, and I'm trying to nip that in the butt in 2020. So I hope you guys enjoy this look, and like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the video.
He called me his bumble, stay buzzing up my feed, calling me his queen bee. I'm like, chill, little homie, I'm just trying to preach this the gospel. He like, boo, I got you. I know you a queen, I'm just trying to tune my chakras like.
Let's get straight into the video. My eyebrows are already done, and I went ahead and put some concealer, and now I'm going straight into this Honey palette. And I'm using this shade to buff out my crease, just going with the natural line of my eyeshadow and my eyeball socket, trying to create a cut crease look. I am in the process of using this new palette from ColourPop, and I really like it. I am now going into the shade Sweet Spot, and I'm using a buffing brush to go ahead and create a gradient eyeshadow look from my eyebrows into the crease. Now to darken things up, I'm going into the ABH Soft Glam palette in Sienna and Rustic, and I'm just using it to really create my lower crease and start to add some darkness, some darker shades into my crease and buff them upwards so that it can have that gradient look that I like. And I'm just going into the palette one by one and adding more and more of the shades. One of the biggest things I tell people is when you start doing makeup, add a little bit and see where it gets you. So I'm going back and forth with the shade Buzzkill and the Rustics and Sienna to buff out my crease. And now to darken like the inner parts of my eye, so when I cut my crease it can look really nice, I'm using that Cypress Umber shade. To cut my crease, I'm using the Makeup Revolution concealer in the shade C12, and at first I was going to use a brush, but then I decided to use the applicator because I love the applicators they have with this collection for the foundation and the concealer. And I messed up a little bit, so you know, nobody's perfect, but I didn't want like a really sharp look. I kind of wanted it to just really diffuse and be as natural as possible. So over that concealer part, I'm using Sweet Spot, which is this bright, beautiful yellow shade, and I love this shade a lot. This shade is like one of my favorite colors. Yellow is my favorite color, and I'm just packing that on with a flat fluffy brush. I think I got this from BH Cosmetics from one of their brush sales, and I'm just packing it on. Now, I do suggest when using this palette, this ColourPop kind of has a little bit of fallout, so you want to make sure that you don't put any foundation, or if you do, you have a protective layer under your eyes. And I'm just packing it on because I want it to be as bright as possible. And as you can see, this is not anything like really crisp. To even out the edges, I go in the darker yellow shade, which is Oh Behave, and I'm just using it to really create that gradient effect. And I go back in with Rustic and Cypress Umber from the ABH palette, and then I just start buffing. One of my favorite brushes is inside of this palette. It comes with all of their palettes and has a flat side and a fluffy side, and I use the flat side to really like go around the yellow and make a significant difference between the yellow and the darker shade, and then the fluffy side to buff out the edges. So once I have figured out exactly what I like, I skipped a step by accident, and I used the ColourPop foundation in the shade Dark 155, and I squeezed it out, and in the middle I realized that I did not put any primer on. I did wash my face and moisturize before, so I go back and I get the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer. I love this primer for people that have textured skin. I have textured skin because of my eczema, and I rub that in and add a new layer to my skin, nice and soft and silky. As I'm adding the new foundation from ColourPop, I also use the Makeup Revolution foundation in F13. And I use two different foundations because it's winter and I change colors differently as I get lighter, so the inside of my face gets lighter before the outside. And I'm using my wet beauty blender to blend that out. I also spray my beauty blender with the Mario Badescu setting spray, and I really like to just pounce and push that into my skin. Now I am going to use a contour stick, which is actually a foundation stick in the shade Deep Dark 197W, and I use this to add some contour to my face. I like to look snatched, as we all say, try to take away that double chin look. I do have a very round features, and I like to add some chiseling to my face. And I'm using the Real Techniques buffing brush. I think I bought it at Ulta for like $8. I love this brush to blend out my contour, and it makes any cream contour, like the blending, really nice and smooth. And it blends it out very nicely. I try to use shades from different parts of my body to make sure that it blends well and it creates that gradient effect. I like my makeup to look pretty, as natural as you can say, with all of these layers. I'm using the ColourPop Glow Oil. I brought this for vacation, and then I just started using it everywhere. I got addicted, and I really am loving ColourPop and how affordable they are. This oil adds a natural glow and a highlight, so you don't have to over highlight your face towards the end. I use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer next to highlight under my eyes, the bridge of my nose, my forehead, my chin, and to cut my contour so that it's not coming down and I look like I have like a crazy mustache. I blend it out with my beauty blender. I love this concealer because it's not drying, and in the winter I'm really worried about my skin being dry because I have eczema prone skin and I get really bad dark patches, and it doesn't make my under eye feel crusty. And sometimes when you use too thick of a concealer that it doesn't have enough hydrating features, it kind of starts to look real dry and cracky. So now I'm going in with the Too Faced setting powder in medium beige, and I love this setting powder. It's very light. Before I used to bake, but now that I realize that my skin is really dry and baking doesn't really work for me, I kind of set all the parts that are not my contour sections lightly first and push it into the skin. And then on parts that I feel like I can get oily or that product moves really fast off my skin, I will put a little bit extra and bake a little bit with the excess. But I really wouldn't call it baking because I'm just pressing excess into the skin, and I do remove it later on. I do like this powder. It does not have flashback, and it looks really nice as like a beginning setting powder, and it keeps, you know, those certain parts that I would like bright, but it's not like gonna create a white cast. I really don't like that white cast look that some translucent powders create. So now, of course, I'm gonna bronze, and my favorite bronzer is the Fenty Beauty Cocoa Naughty Bronzer. I use it to like buff into my skin, and I like to like use my bronzer to like create, you know, warmth in the skin. And I really like chisel under my neck and around my nose. I don't really contour my nose that often because I feel like my nose is already really small, but I don't want it to get lost in my face, so I just add a little bit of color. Now I'm using my SEPHORA Micro Smooth setting powder, and I just use that to buff everything and make sure that everything is moving and going throughout my face smoothly. I love this powder. I actually started using the powder because of Alyssa Ashley, and I think I've said this in other videos. I just really love what this does to the skin. It just makes it look like Facetune. So now I go back in with Rustic and Cypress Umber in my under eye, and I just use those two shades to do my under eye and really create detail in the eye look. This is not a look that is meant to supposed to be precise, but it is a look that it was quick. I was on the phone with my sister, and I was like, you know, my coworker asked me to film this look, and I'm like, okay, this is a very simple look for me. It didn't take much thought. It's something that I've been doing since the beginning of me doing makeup, and it's messy. Like, it's not even anything really special, but sometimes the most simplest things are the easiest things to teach. So now I am going in with the ABH Blush Trio, and I just started getting into blush, and I've been using it to bring life into my face. Now, I haven't been using lashes lately, so I've been really serious about mascara because I have nice lashes, and I go in with the IT Cosmetic Superhero Mascara, and I love this wand because it's really small and it like lifts my lashes all the way up, and it doesn't clump my lashes. I love using it for my under eyelashes, and it just separates them nicely. Now, to give them some more volume and thickness, I go in with this NYX mascara just to thicken them up a little bit and really get the look that I'm looking for. And I love these two mascaras together. As you can see, I did come in and use the Queen back with the huhhoneypalette, and I use it to highlight. Usually I will use like a highlighter that I already have, but I love this shade, and I really wanted to use the yellow as my eyeshadow to be matte, and then a little bit of glitter going on. So after I'm done that, I set my face again with the Mario Badescu Cucumber Setting Spray, and I get straight into the lips. So the lip combo for this look is the ABH Liquid Lip lipstick in the shade Malt, and I just use that to outline my lip and create plumpness with the lines. And I then go in with the NYX Butter Gloss. I love the NYX Butter Glosses, and I use them to just put some plumpness. They're usually around $5 at CVS, Ulta, and they're so juicy and they're not sticky, and I just love their shades. I wish I could get all of them, but this is one of my favorite colors, Ginger Snap. So this is the look.
Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys come back to my channel. There's other videos that are going to be in the description bar below and connected to this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on social media, especially on Instagram, because I am going to be doing several different looks on Instagram, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.